Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, you'll learn how to perform basic optimization of your models in order to create better reports and visualization. I'm going to connect to a Microsoft Access database file. We've already connected to this database file previously in other videos. So you should be used to connecting to that now. So I'm going to click Get Data and I'll wait for the Get Data screen. I click on Access Database and click Connect. And this is the database. I'll click Open and I'll wait for it to connect inside the navigator. So this is the database here. I'm only going to work with two tables. I'm going to click on the date table and this sales fact table. I'm going to click on edit and just so I can get the Power Query editor. And the other thing I'm going to do here for now is just change the name. So in the property window here, I'm going to change that to date. I'll press enter and then I'll click on this one here and I'll just change the name to sales. So that's the only transformation I'm doing on that. So let's bring this data into the Power BI desktop. So I click on this close and apply and then click close and apply again. And that will apply the query changes into my Power BI desktop. You can see here it's only applying queries for these two tables that I selected, the date and the sales table. So the models have now been brought in to the Power BI desktop. So we can start building report and visualization from this model. Now there are a few things we can do to optimize the data and make it more usable either for ourselves or when we're building reports to share with our colleagues. So let's take a look at the date model. So if I expand that, we've got several fields here that kind of give us the same type of information that we may not necessarily need in building our reports. So if I drag the month over, this is a month, drag the month ID, drag the month name, and then drag the month no. So you can see here, they're basically telling us the same thing. And what you can do when you are building reports and visualization, you can optimize this area here just by hiding the fields that you don't need. For example, if I don't need this month no, I can come here and there's an option to hide that. I can hide that and that kind of like clears this area. So if I come here, click on hide, that kind of like reduces the fields that show up in this area. It doesn't remove them from the actual data model. It just hides them so that this area is much more easy and optimized for you to work with. You can also unhide any field that you've hidden here. If you right click on the name of the table, there is an option here to say view hidden or unhide all. So if I click on hide all, you can see all the fields have reappeared. So I'm going to click to remove this table. I'll click remove. Let's create a different type of visualization. Within the date table, I'm going to drag in the month name. And from the sales table, I'm going to drag in the revenue so we can see the revenue by month. At the moment, it's in a tabular format. I'm going to change the visuals to a different type. So I'll make it a stacked column chart. And I'm just going to drag this in the canvas area so that we can see it, or you can click here which says focus mode and that will give you a proper view. So looking at this visual, you can see here that the month with the most sale here is May and then followed by the month of April. You can also, if for example the month, sometimes the month here are not always in this order, you can also change the way they appear. For example, if they are mixed up and they are not in the order of the month, like January to December, you can come here where it's got the month name, and under the sort by column, you can click on the drop down, and at the moment you can see here the default is sorted by month. So if you want to change the format of the sorting, the way it is sorted, for example, if I want to say sort by month name, you click on that, and you can see here now it's changed the way the columns have been sorted because I've changed the ordering. So you can see it's got April, August is not in a proper order. So all I need to do is go back, make sure that it's selected, go back to the sort by column and select by month no. By selecting it by the month number, it now filters it in an orderly way from January to December. There are other things you can do to help optimize your data for modeling and reporting. For example, you can change the data type. If you're working with a data type here that you don't like, you can come here where it says data type and you can select and just change the type of data. For example, if you're working with numbers and you want the numbers to show as whole numbers, you can select whole number data type and just change the type of visuals that you want to reflect what you're doing. These are just a few ways to optimize your data for reporting and visualization. There's a lot more you can do. I've only just scratched the surface. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.